Hello, and welcome to another episode of my podcast, The Hayley Osborne Show. I'm so glad you are here. It is daylight as I am recording episode. Oh, wow. What episode are we up to? 182. Oh, my goodness. Anyway, have you set up yourself, or are you starting to set up yourself for next year, for 2026? And if not, don't stress. But more importantly, I want to talk to you today about how are you setting up your mindset, okay, for 2026 and how to set up your mindset for 2026. Because if you've always done the same thing, I assume you'll always have gotten the same result. So, with a swift kick up the ass from me, while simultaneously offering you a very warm hug, I hope to be able to help you through this episode to be able to set up your mindset for 2026 to achieve massive goals inside of your business. And, you wouldn't be listening to this podcast if you didn't want to achieve great things inside of your business. So that's where I come in to help you. And I also wanted to share a little bit about what I do to maintain my positive mindset and my mindset and what I'm going to be doing leading into 2026 to set myself up to win. I have massive goals for 2026. So look out and watch me because, up until now, I've been giving birth, growing a human, breastfeeding, da 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 da. That's done. I've grown three humans, given birth, breastfed them all. Now the smallest human is one, a little bit older than one. And I'm a bit freer than what I have been for the last, say, 5 years. So my goals for 2026 are massive. And so I wanted to share with you how to set up your mindset for 2026 and, give you a kick up the ass with a warm hug at the same time so that you can do the same. Okay. Because we're not here for a haircut. Okay. We're here to run a successful business and we're here to not just make it a success, but make it wildly successful. Because if you can, you know, pull the right levers, it changes the game immensely. So fundamentally, it starts with your mindset and believing that you can have what you want and you can achieve all of the things that you set your mind to. Okay, so I'm going to talk about movement. I'm going to talk about morning rituals. I'm going to talk about hindsight. I'm going to talk about setting yourself up for the coming week. And I'm going to talk about some habits. Okay, so the first one is movement. So the short of it is movement research shows that it lowers your risk of depression by 20 to 30% when you move your body. And that kind of reigns true because movement creates positive endorphins. You've got lots of blood flow, happening a bit faster around your body when you move. Those endorphins create a really happy feeling and it gives you a shot of dopamine. And so, that's the short of it. It enhances oxygen to the brain. Okay. So, you know, giving you a more positive mindset enhances blood flow, yet releasing positive endorphins. And therefore, those things combined increase your energy levels in turn, as well as your creativity. And that's massive. So that's why I move my body every single day that I can. So if it's not every day, I definitely move my body 4 times a week. So a couple of like heavyweight sessions and some runs, and big stretching sessions afterwards because my body needs it. But when I've done that, oh my goodness, I feel like I can conquer the world. And so that is one thing that I'm definitely taking into 2026 with me. And if you listen to the podcast, you'll know that I have joined like the most luxe gym and it's awesome. And it's not for the faint-hearted, and I love it. And I've met some really nice people by doing that, and it's just given me a little little smile of community as well, which I definitely needed. And movement as well. When your energy levels are increased, and when therefore your creativity is increased. So is your productivity. The output that you have once you have finished a workout. So, like for me, if I need to sit down and I know I need to write some content or a blog or any kind of writing, if I do this, if I say, no, I'm not going to do any exercise and I'm going to just focus on that body of work that I need to do, it will take me double as long. But if I've gone out, moved my body, got the blood flowing, release those positive endorphins, it definitely increases my energy and my sharpness in my brain, and I can actually do the writing in half the time. I kid you not. I have honestly tested this time and time again, and every single time, I smash it. So it works. It works for me. That's just what works. So that's why I wanted to share that with you. Now moving on to morning rituals. Okay, so DM me if you have a really interesting morning ritual and it works for you on Instagram. I'd love to hear you. But I think every morning that you wake up, you should wake up with it with intention. Okay. And that is the opposite of perfection. Okay. But set your intention because it's definitely the small things that matter the most. Okay. So I think clearing the decks, so your physical space of clutter, helps clear mental clutter. I think when you start your day with intention, it definitely sets you off on a really good start. And, willpower in the morning, I know this is for me as well, it's the strongest. Okay. And how many times have we said, like, going to eat really well today, and you start off the day so well, my body is a temple, my body is a temple, and then find yourself craving that chocolate snack after dinner. My body is no longer a temple. Now, if we're talking about body being a temple, I am heading into week 4 of my detox this week. So I've done this for 4 weeks, and oh my gosh, I had a date night with my girlfriends on Friday night, and they were like, "You look like you're glowing." And I said, "I feel like I'm glowing from the inside because for the last 4 weeks, this will be 4 weeks as we go into the current week that we're in, that this podcast comes out. I have not had any coffee. I've had no alcohol, no sugar, no dairy, and no carbs. And I have eaten the rainbow and back, and I feel incredible. So I think, anyway, we digress with that, but I thought I'd share how it's going with you. And I've actually tried to kind of journey and vlog the process. So if I have the time to put that together, I'm going to share it as well because I feel like when your health is at its optimal, so is your business. And it's just, I think they work in tandem and they work together. And that's why I've made it my mission to be able to help health brands to be able to create marketing activities and strategies to have the biggest growth with the least amount of time and effort so that you can grow your practice and fill your appointment books and you don't have to spend time doing that. And I just found a lollipop wrapper in my pocket that is not mine, that is my children's. And that just goes against everything that I have right now for me. But yes, they eat lollipops because they have little treats in moderation. Anyway, that was so funny. Okay, so where were we? Yes, in the morning, intention. Start with small things because your willpower is the absolute strongest in the morning. And then if you want to start something new, the morning is to start new habits. Okay. Smash water as soon as you wake up. Have a really healthy breakfast. And some mornings, prior to this 4-week gut health detox, I sometimes would skip brekkie. It might have just been some nuts and it would be definitely a milky coffee. But I've had breakfast every single day for the last 3 and a bit weeks. I feel amazing. I have dropped maybe 5 kilos as well. But, I'm back to my fitting in my jeans weight now. Everything was just a little bit tight before after having baby number 3. It's such a funny thing, like baby number 1. And everyone's different. This is just my story, but baby number 1, after I had him, it was kind of like a few weeks to, a few months before I fit into my clothes again, which was awesome. Baby number two, it was about 9 months in, 9 months out until I was like really strong again and fitted back into my clothes. Baby number three sort of hit me for six because I don't know, having three babies just does something different to your body. And so that was part of this gut health detox as well. So I had to just draw a line in the sand. I definitely was having way too much dairy. I love milk. Milk doesn't love me. And now I think when I drink coffee again, it will be back to my long blacks, which I used to love before I fell pregnant, the first time. And then I kind of went off of them. And so they're going to be my go-to. And I'm so excited to drink coffee again. Uh, but alcohol, I'll definitely take it or leave it now. And I'm definitely less foggy without it. Not that I was a big drinker, but I didn't mind a glass of wine on a Friday. Um, but now I could just leave it. And I think the brekkie is a big one. And I've had the most colorful varieties of breakfast for the last 3 weeks that I have absolutely loved. Some of them have been smoothies with like a ginger shot that we've made, but some of them have been eggs, homemade granola that is delicious. If you want to know any more about this, please send me a DM on Instagram. I would love to tell you more about what I'm doing, but I just thought it's nice to share my experiences because I might be able to help somebody along the way. Anyway, also in the morning, what I do is set a couple of priorities that I want to achieve that day, even if they're small. At least I feel like I'm still kicking goals. And that is something I'm definitely taking into 2026 with my mindset. And I think if you can try and start your day as calm as possible, it helps you to have a better overall day. So I have learned that with three small humans in my home, things are not calm in the morning. They are very much the opposite. But I have future proofed my mornings so hard that it is runs as smoothly as possible. So the little guy has a little milk bottle early in the morning when he wakes up, and that's in the fridge the night before, ready to go. So he's not skitzing it if I'm pouring milk in the bottle and then needing to heat it up. And then getting my clothes out so I don't have to worry about that the next day because that is done. And then, having the kids' bags ready to go, depending on what they're doing. If they're home with me, just having snacks ready to go for our mornings out. And it just makes the morning so much calmer. If you don't have that chaos, then, try and start your day as calm as possible by getting stuff ready the night before, regardless. But I probably have if you were to look at a spectrum of like 1 to 10, one being like a really calm house with mostly adults in it, to 10 being the craziest house possible, I would have a 10 in the morning. I would 100% have a 10. And so they're the little things that I do the night before to have a really calm morning, as calm as possible. So I'm not stressed. So other things are, we always put the dishwasher on the night before, and I always try and have that emptied before I go to bed. And any dishes that don't go in the dishwasher that are drying on the sink, have them put away before I go to bed. It's such a pain in the ass, but it makes my morning run so much smoother, and I feel really good that I'm not fuffing about in the morning over silly stuff that I had future-proof myself with the night before. So that is definitely something that I'm taking into 2026, and it helps my mindset be clear and my priorities be focused. So I'm setting 2 or 3 things the night before or in the morning that I want to achieve that day. And that's what makes me be laser focused. And that's how I can do what I do. Run this business, which is very successful, essentially as a stay-at-home mum with 3 small children. Granted, the bigger guys are off to kindy, but the little guy's still kind of here and not in childcare or anything like that. And that's my choice, but that's how I am still able to show up and do what I do. So, yes, to have a better day, sort of, it's the small things, right? Okay, so I think 100% working consistently on your mindset helps you to be able to future-proof yourself, okay? And when you do hit that new level in 2026, to see that new devil, because you think I'm going to get to this point and that will take away all of these problems. There's just new problems that arrive and they are actually much bigger. And you'll be ready because you have been working consistently on your mindset. So hindsight is another good thing. So what is something that's really nice to do at the end of the week on a Sunday night is to go back through your calendar, look at how busy you were, look at what worked, look at what didn't work, and then make sure that you do not take those things into the next week. And that's something I'm going to still do moving forward in 2026 because it just is my mindset is laser focused. There was something that I no longer wanted to do and I just didn't do it. And I felt great about it. And you can too. And it's up to you, right? The next thing that is super cool to do on a Sunday to be able to set yourself up for success and, set your mindset up for success, especially leading into a new year, is plan out in short term. So, what do you want to achieve the coming 7 days and list it out? Do you want to drink more water? Do you want to make your shopping more streamlined by ordering online and planning out your meals? Do you want to visit a new lead? Do you want to make that difficult call? Do you want to pitch yourself for a podcast or to a media outlet? Now, these things don't take very long to do, but they are hard to do, especially if you don't have systems and processes in place in order to be able to do that. Now, this is something that I share inside of my 8-week course, Magnetic Marketing Formula, as well as the Superhero Marketing Club. Okay. And these systems and processes have really helped me to be able to set up my day. So there's a few things that you would write out when it comes to uh, understanding what you want to do this week. And you've got to have it has to be big goals, right, in a week, but then you've got to have those micro goals to be able to achieve them as well. So if you want to have something done by Thursday, say you want to pitch, this is an example, and there's a structure around this, but you want to pitch to X media outlet and have the pitch done by Thursday. Research starts on Monday. Okay. Writing on Tuesday, pitch Wednesday, for example, follow up pitch Thursday. Okay. So you've got to have a timeline to get these things done. You can't just have these big goals. Well, they're not really that big, but say you want to pitch to in your 2026 plan, you want to pitch to, let's call it a podcast. You want to pitch to 24 different podcasts in a year leading into 2026. So that's two a month. So you got to break it down. How are you going to do that? Where are you going to find them? What if they say no, right? This week I want to. So that's really important that you go over that every single week and revisit that. And the last thing, or the next thing I want to talk about is your habits. Okay. So what could you do differently? What do you do right now that shits you off that you don't want to do anymore? What do you want to do? What that would make your life better? Okay, so for me, I want to train in the morning at 6 a.m. 3 times a week. Okay, sometimes it'll be 2 times a week because my husband and I take it in turns to get up with the kids. So on my non getting up with the kids morning, I will be training. So that means I have to go to bed early. I have to get my clothes out the night before, even though I've got that down to a well-oiled machine. I have to have my bag ready to go. And luckily, I don't have to pack any food or anything because my gym is so luxe. They've got bananas, apples, mandarins, oranges, fresh in a huge bowl ready to go after your workout. Beautiful lemon ice water ready to go. They have a towel supplied. I literally have to just get myself out the door. I love that for me because my life is busy enough and it means I don't have to wash a towel. So it's great. I've got a beautiful cup of peppermint tea here and it's so luxe. Something that I treasure in the morning, in the afternoon. I can't drink peppermint tea in the morning. It has to be like a pomegranate tea or something like that in the morning for me. And then in the afternoon, it's peppermint tea. And then in the evening, it's an evening tea. Anyway, so habits. What habits do you want to start getting into? And these are things that you do every single week. That's one of them. I've mastered the art of having a podcast every single week, and that has been through discipline and getting in those habits. And then, have a think about it. I've got a couple of cool habits that I go through within Magnetic Marketing Formula as well. If you are thinking, or if you missed out on the last round, the waitlist is open for you to join for the next time I open the doors. If you head over to my website, hayleyosborne.com, you can join the waitlist there. And we go through all of this because I don't think it is just one thing in terms of marketing that creates success inside your business. It is a whole holistic approach, and we work from the ground up. And so, getting the right habits in place to help your day run smoother will help you kick your goals faster, especially if you've got it backed by strategy. And then, future proof yourself. So I think your future self will arrive really soon. And it's important that we take care of that person. So, for example, clean the dishes the night before so my future self doesn't need to. Gym close out the night before so my future self doesn't have to worry about it in the morning. Um, Put a book next to my bed so that I can read a couple of pages before I go to bed. Audiobook in the car, ready to go, so that when I'm driving to and from places without the small humans in the car, because that would be impossible with them, I am listening to an audiobook. Okay, so I do listen to podcasts, and I have a whole new repertoire of podcasts that I listen to now, because I was getting bored with my current listening, and that's fine. There's a season for everything, and I also always have an audiobook going, and I always have a physical book going as well. Just two, because I think that's far more productive on my part, and I can hit my goals at the end of every year if I do that. Okay. And then, obviously, as a mum of three small humans, I have a lot of washing. And so I like to, future proof myself. As soon as I can outsource the washing, I absolutely will. But not yet. That's, I outsource as much as I can at the moment. We have a cleaner, we have a gardener. What else do we have? Obviously, the gym I've outsourced as much as possible in terms of just rocking up, and everything else is there. The streamline way my house works in terms of on reorder stuff from Amazon, the hard stuff, I do a online order for my food shopping. It all gets delivered. I don't have to do any of that. So this house runs like a well-oiled machine. But yeah, the washing, I sort that out the night before in piles, ready to go the next day. So I don't have to worry about that. And then, if you're getting really clever, you sort out your slow cooker as well. So that way your dinner's sorted, especially if you've got a busy night ahead. Okay, so that's personal stuff. And then business in terms of future proofing yourself for 2026, you need to always remember that it's important to do the hard thing first. Okay. And try and keep that top of mind. Okay. And your discipline will take you a long way, and your mindset will get you all the way. Put your phone away. There's another truth, a hard truth in business that will help you to future proof yourself so you are not doom scrolling. Put your phone away to be able to achieve things. And I love this absolute ritual and habit that I've got into, and it keeps my mindset crisp and fresh and healthy. And then keep your emails closed for the most part of the day. So I check my emails in the morning, not straight away, probably around 10. I check them over lunch, and then I check them at 4 o'clock, the days that I'm working. I have no notifications turned on my phone at all. I don't have emails on my phone. And that was strategically because when I'm with my children, I want to be present with my children. I do not want my phone pinging all the time, and I'm distracted. Now, if it is urgent, someone will call me. Okay. So just know that if you're not on emails, if it's urgent, someone's going to call you. Okay. So I think I haven't had emails on my phone for maybe 2 years. No, probably four, 3.5, probably four almost. Just thinking how old my oldest child is, but that's probably been how long. And I've never missed them ever. It's the best. And then when you sit down to do work, I know that you probably know this already, but I'm going to tell you again, have everything that you need on your desk. Okay. So have gone to the toilet. And then I usually make myself 3 drinks at once. So I have my water, I'll have a cup of tea, and I'm not drinking coffee at the moment. So it's a pot of tea with turmeric in it and whatever else I want, and a coffee. So when I'm drinking coffee, I have all those 3 things. I have some nuts as a snack ready to go, a small snack. So I'm not like bloated and feeling like foggy, small and healthy. I have my phone face down and I am ready to go. I usually will have like a blanket over my legs or a wheat pack, or I have my legs crossed up on my little stool, but have everything on your desk that you need in the morning, and you will be so productive before 12 o'clock, and you will thank yourself for that, for future proofing yourself before you sit down at your desk. And I do think that the smallest things make a world of difference and make your world different. And I would like to ask you, what is your 1%? Okay, because it's the 1% that sets you apart from everybody else. And it starts with your mindset. And these are the things that I've talked about today that will actually help you build a strong mindset and be resilient and ready to up level your business with the right strategies and frameworks and tools in 2026. Okay, now that is all for today. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Please send me a message on Instagram if you have, and if you have any tips that you want to share with me that help you to have the best mindset in your business, I would love to hear from you. Like I said earlier in this podcast, if you missed Doors Open to Magnetic Marketing Formula, you can head over to my website and join the waitlist for the next time doors open. And when you do join the waitlist, there's some awesome bonuses waiting for you when you join in that period. So head over now and do that. And I look forward to seeing you on Instagram. Okay, bye.